countdown to the biggest live event in all of Fortnite history gets closer and closer to zero. More and more Chapter 4 leaks are coming out every single hour. But first, Fortnite Chapter 4 is quickly approaching, and if you hit the thumbs up button on this video, Klombo will return in Chapter 4, so please hit it and do your part to get Klombo back. It really doesn't feel long ago at all when we arrived on the Chapter 3 island, greeted by the Foundation. It's already time for a brand new chapter of Fortnite, which means a brand new island. Today, we're gonna cover all of the leaks, ranging from some brand new features, all the way to the leaked Chapter 4 trailer. But first, look how close we are to 4.32 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It truly would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,320,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. But this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. But we've wasted too much time. Fortnite Chapter 4 is officially leaked. We got a ton to talk about. Let's get into it. Now, before we get to one of the biggest leaks ever for Fortnite Chapter 4, first things first, we have something huge to reveal about the upcoming Fracture live event, where the Herald herself will do her best to end all realities. First, we assume the name Fractured was referring to a fractured version of the 0 point, since after all, the Paradigm did say that it went fully dormant, and Fracture also represents the Chapter 4 map, which will essentially be a bunch of pieces from old maps combined together to make a new one. What it really means is that during the live event, we're gonna see the map start to fracture and split apart in different areas, because as you can see from one of the latest live event teasers posted by Epic Games, if you Photoshop out all of the text, you're actually able to see that it forms a giant crack in the ground. So exactly like at the end of Chapter 2, where we saw the entire map flip over and bring us to the new island, we'll likely see something similar happen in this event, where the map starts to break apart and form a new one. All of this would happen just because of the 0 point, because as we mentioned, it's fully dormant, causing it to retreat back down into the center of the island in between the two different maps. Here's where things get interesting. So we know that we're going to be entering the 0 point during the live event, and this is what's going to cause the map to fracture. So in order to get to the 0 point in the center of the island, you're going to have to use the giant drill that was left over from the Imagined Order to essentially do the exact same thing they did to arrive on the Chapter 3 map and use it to drill through the island, with the goal of arriving at the 0 point to escape to safety. Now, when we enter the 0 point, we'll actually be transported there during the live event inside of the giant floating blimp. Speaking of the blimp, this thing actually contains some pretty big secrets about Chapter 4, because as I'm sure we all remember, in Chapter 3 Season 3, the blimp got a pretty big update and became covered in graffiti, and there are some crazy big hints on this, like you're able to see the words New World spray painted on it, as well as something that almost looks to be a ship or a comet of some form crash landing on a different planet. Most importantly, you're able to see some graffiti that actually appears to be Meowscles that you're also able to find on the Imagined Order drill. We'll reveal more about this in a second. Now, you can't forget that all of this cryptic artwork on the blimp is actually done by none other than the Peace Syndicate, a new faction here in Chapter 3. The Eevee skin is actually a member of and is their secret weapon. During this season, she actually received a secret message from a mysterious character known as X. Now, at first, I just assumed this X character was none other than Geno, since after all, he did say his main goal is to protect every single reality. But who it actually is that mysterious graffitied cat character we saw on the blimp, as well as the Imagined Order drill. But it is not Meowscles, even though they do look pretty similar. Currently, this is the only image we have of the new character. It's also worth noting that right next to this graffiti, you're actually able to see a corrupted TV with an eye in the center, likely referring to the Bites quest, where he joined the Nothing by talking to the TV. All of this is directly related to that image of the 0 point in space Donald must have leaked years ago, because that's probably where we're headed after we enter the 0 point inside of this giant airship. Don't worry, we're just about to showcase the leaked Chapter 4 trailer, but first, I hope you're ready to have your mind blown, because I'm sure we remember the last time the 0 point was unstable in Chapter 2 Season 5. It didn't end well for the Fortnite universe at all, as it led us into the Zero Crisis finale, where during that event, we saw the 0 point send out something known as reality waves, where with each and every single one, the literal reality right in front of us would change drastically, and sometimes even open up a portal to a different reality. We then find out that the only way to stop the 0 point would it becomes this unstable by closing up every single one of the portals that it opened up, and then containing the 0 point so it can't do any more damage. Anyways, remember one of the reality waves actually appeared to turn everything into real life, where you were even able to make out 3 characters standing on the ground in front of the 0 point. Now, Epic Games didn't do this effect for no reason. We'll likely see it once again happen during this live event since the 0 point is gone unstable, and that's where the 3 characters we saw standing under the 0 point come into play. Because think about it, if the Foundation makes his return for the live event and the 0 point does this reality wave where it turns everything into real life, then that would mean we could actually see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson himself acting during the live event alongside Brie Larson, who was revealed to be the Paradigm earlier this season. Because think about it, why else would Epic Games recruit these massive actors to play a character in a video game? They could have just hired a non-famous voice actor for way cheaper. Probably the same reason we saw that original reality wave was because they're not just going to be voice actors, but they'll actually be acting in an upcoming live event. On top of that, this event is supposed to be 40 minutes long as well. It's already incredibly obvious that Epic Games has a massive surprise for us ready up their sleeve. And that leads us into the biggest Chapter 4 leak so far, because you may have noticed that we only explained 2 of the 3 characters standing underneath the 0 point, with one of them being the Foundation and the other being the Paradigm. It's more than likely Geno, not just because it looks exactly like the leaked images of him, but also because he was just introduced here in Chapter 3 with us seeing him for the first time during the Collision Live event. But instead, it seems like at the end of each chapter, Epic Games reveals a brand new main character. Like, think about it, at the end of Chapter 2, we received the Foundation, who was revealed to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who essentially guided us and led us through all of Fortnite Chapter 3. So this time, it only makes sense that the revealed character is Geno, since the first time we ever saw him was during Chapter 3 during the Collision Live event, exactly like in Chapter 2 where the Foundation was revealed for the first time during the Zero Crisis finale. Recently, each time Epic Games reveals a new character, they also reveal the actor who plays it, and this time around, there are many rumors floating around that Bob Odenkirk, the actor from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, has actually been recruited to be the voice of Geno. But here's the thing, his voice doesn't really sound scary or all that intimidating at all.
Some people stay dead. What's that about?
Which essentially further confirms that Geno isn't the evil villain we all thought he was, because they probably would have cast somebody else who sounds a little bit more intimidating to voice Geno. The good news is, Geno is essentially the only person who has the power to seal the loop for good, which is essentially the only way to prevent the Herald and the Chrome from following us to our new reality. So just like at the end of Chapter 2 event, where the Foundation or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson came down into the Imagine Order's base, essentially to save us and lead us to safety on the brand new Chapter 3 island. Well, this time, since the Foundation is still totally missing from the island, it's gonna be Geno that leads us through the live event and ends with him closing the loop for good. But you can't forget, currently stuck inside of the loop is essentially every single member of the 7, most importantly including both the Imagined as well as the Order, who are actually Geno's daughters. But as we know, before Geno closes the loop for good, we're actually going to be entering the 0 point during the live event. But personally, I think this is because we're going to be trying to rescue all of the people stuck in the loop, like the Imagined and the Order, before sealing it off for good and jetting off to our new home in a new reality. Essentially, exactly like the images spray painted on the side of the airship imply, probably leading us to an area exactly like what we saw at the beginning of the Collision Live event, where we were essentially floating through outer space. Makes perfect sense, especially when you consider that leaked image of the 0 point floating in a different galaxy. For sure about one thing, it's that Geno is gonna play a massive role, also being involved in the Chapter 4 Battle Pass, likely being the secret skin, exactly like the Foundation was in Chapter 3 Season 1. More and more leaks are coming out about Chapter 4 every single hour of every day, and I'm gonna tweet them all out on my Twitter account, @HomeAGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.